So let me give you an introduction about myself, firstly, and then we'll go on with the presentation. So my name is Vinod Siyani. I'm the CEO of EducateMe Group and the co-founder. I'm calling you, or rather logging in from United Kingdom, London. I was born in the United Kingdom, and I have got 38 years working in the education sector in the United Kingdom and international, having worked for various universities, various job titles. Many of them are senior and so forth. And I'm here to present to you an opportunity, a new alternative to Spain, okay? And some of you are, I'm sure, going to fall off your seats when you hear about this. It's a completely new industry, and I'm going to share my screen and we'll start off with the presentation, okay? So firstly, what you're looking at is a landscape of our environment. When I mean our environment, the majority of you in this Zoom are probably study abroad consultants, having worked in that environment of placing students into universities, colleges across multiple countries, whether that is Australia, UK, Canada, US, and so forth. So what we're looking at is a presentation where we can see a graph. On the left-hand side, 2020 and beyond, we know that in the study environment, there are 4 top countries which were popular amongst the student abroad market. When students and parents come to us, it was one of those 4 countries that they had an aspiration to go and study. However, what we've seen is over the last 5 years, we've seen a steady decline in those 4 countries. And that has happened for a number of reasons. It's happened for immigration visa. It's happened for cost. It's happened for settlement opportunities, as in the long-term opportunity. And a lot of the immigration governments and so forth have changed laws over the last several years, making it a lot more difficult for students to look at their long-term aspirations. Although all of them are open for studies, but let's be honest, our aspirations of our students are beyond that. What we have seen is a steady incline in Europe. And I've just used Spain as a reference, but obviously that is for more so Europe. And I think all of you will agree that a lot of the applications, you're now starting to get are more becoming cost preference. And that means you're now having to look at alternatives away from the top 4 into new areas. And one of those new areas are probably going to be Europe. Would I be right in suggesting that to you? Do you all kind of agree with that statement? Have you seen an incline in Europe application in your business and in your sector? What's coming up? So in India, many of you may not be aware, or perhaps are aware, that more and more universities, international universities from the top 4 countries and Europe, are now setting infrastructure of campuses within India. Now, what does that mean for us? It means in our study abroad environment, where our job and our revenue comes from placing students into universities, of course, our revenue comes from the commission that we earn. Now, those commissions are currently paid on the international fee payments, whether you're sending a student to the US, whether you're sending the student to the UK, of course, our revenue comes from those commissions. However, if the market is that in the next few years, more and more students are going to start choosing India as their initial destination for study, and thereafter perhaps do the final year in those international destinations, what does it mean for us? It means that our pockets are going to be less in terms of revenue, because the students are going to be paying in Indian rupees. The cost of those studies are going to be far, far cheaper, meaning the commissions of placing students will have a knock-on effect on our very own business. So what do we need to start doing? Well, if we're going to be existing in our business in the next future several years, then we need to start looking at new alternatives. What I'm about to present to you is about Spain, and I'll take you through this, but Spanish language and vocational pathway program, a route to skill, work, and residency in Spain. A quick overview. EducateMe Group is in collaboration with a number of institutions across Spain, offering a unique language and pathway program designed for international learners aiming to build a future in Spain. Now, I'm going to stop there. In our very own market of study abroad consultants, we send students to universities for education. Now, they are then within that university environment and learning for 3 or 4 years for their course to obtain a degree. And then their career in that scope of what they've studied is going to start after their degree, whether it's engineering, whether it's biology, whether it's pharmacy, and so forth. So what I'm giving you now is an alternative. Have you ever considered work-based learning, where the student studies, but the study environment is not necessarily classroom, but practical work-based, meaning that if you're going to be studying as a nurse, or if you're going to be studying as a teacher, then the very environment that you're going to be working and learning from is that environment where your future is going to be. So, and you get a qualification out of it at the same time. Now, wouldn't that be amazing? Wouldn't that be more practical and engaging learning? Wouldn't that be far more interesting? Back in our days, if that was available to me, I tell you, I would have taken that up rather than taking up a degree. Okay? It's going to be cheaper. I don't have to do long-term studying for 3-4 years, and I do get a qualification. So I'm going to tell you a little bit more. This program combines intense Spanish language training. Of course, we need to learn the language. There is going to be vocational education, and there will be hands-on job training. And this, of course, maximizes the employability and settlement opportunities, meaning we are reaching the aspirations of the student. Okay? So when does this all kick off? And let's learn a little bit more. Well, from next week, we are launching this program. What we're doing right now is we're reaching out for education channels, recruitment channels, and these are yourselves, where we will launch the program Recruiting to the Market through yourselves, through agents, where we will give you all of the material you need to put on your media channels and start recruiting students. Okay? So what have we caught on so far? What have we snapped on so far? Well, we've learned now that there is a new alternative from education environment, university learning to work-based learning, something new. Strong job opportunities at the end and pathways to long-term residency, meaning the very aspiration that students are coming to your doors, you now have a possible solution. What are we starting in August? This is the course that's we're launching next week. It's a Certificate in Spanish Culture and Advanced TEFL program. How many of you know what TEFL is? Hands up if you know what TEFL is. If you don't, I will tell you. TEFL stands for Teaching English in a Foreign Language. What is this course for? Who are the audience? Well, the audiences are students with a degree. The degree can be in any field. They need to be 21 years old, and they need to have a strong English communication proficiency. When I mean strong, I'm probably looking at an IELTS of about 6.5 upwards. They don't need to have any experience in teaching, because part of that learning is going to be done through the course. And of course, the correct candidates would be perhaps teachers who are very much already teaching English in India and want an international opportunity. So these could be your ready customers. You can also have students who have done masters and are looking at perhaps going international. Not necessarily a degree, paying 20 lakhs or so. We can do something far, far cheaper. The benefit of this, it's a 1-year course. The first 3 months of the course are conducted online in the very comfort of the student's home, followed by face-to-face training and work-based learning in Spain. So if a course starts in September, we can have a student in January in Spain starting their work-based learning and working towards their qualification in a teaching environment. So this teaching environment, for example, would be a school in Spain. You would be guided and mentored by a teacher working towards your qualification. By the end of that qualification, you already have a route into the job, because those employers where there is work-based learning are the very employers who are going to be giving you jobs. Okay, so there is a huge demand and a high shortage of teaching positions, especially English teachers, to teach English in these foreign countries. All right, so this is where we are. Now you can work part-time on top of this. Some of the countries that you send students to, there is a limit of 20 hours. In Spain, that limit increases to 30 hours. So really, really good opportunity for most of our students here. The fees. In euros, the fees are 6,250 euros. Now, this is a promotional fee at the moment. It includes all the visa assistance that we're going to give, handhold the student through yourselves. We're also going to throw in an airport pickup. Now, an airport pickup, of course, the student is landing in a new country. The parents are sending their loved ones to this new country. And of course, the parents and the students and the agent, like yourselves, will all want to show that there is a hand-holding there, making sure that the students are looked after the very time they land in that country. So we want to make sure we meet up to your expectations. So we're going to put in airport pickup as well. We're also going to throw in 1 month of accommodation. With the course starting in September, although you won't be in Spain until January, we need to begin the visa process. Now, the visa process takes at least 2 months. So what we need to do is to ensure accommodation is in place. That's a mandatory document where it must show that accommodation has been organized. So rather than the student going to do this on their own, they have to get a guarantor, they have to pay the deposits and so forth. This is a safer way of doing it, and it's included within the fee. So the first month. The campus is with 70 odd rooms. It's within the international student campus. So you'll meet with students from all parts of the world. There will be weekly cultural activities, international food, cinema, and so forth. The campus has got a cinema, it has got a gym, it's got a library, it's got a cinema room, and it's got a swimming pool. So all of these facilities exist within this accommodation, okay? The fees, like I said, are 6250. What is in there for you? Well, as an agent, for every successful student you place on this course, you get 700 euros back, okay? Now, this 700 euros, we can look at making a split payment where once the student starts the online course, we can give you A amount, and once the student arrives in Spain to complete the rest of the course or start the remainder of the course, we can give you B, okay? So we can perhaps look at giving you 2 payments, so at least you get something within a number of weeks. We are looking at having multiple intakes, so not necessarily like every year September or January, September. We can have, depending on the popularity of what we get, we can do monthly intakes or 2-month intakes. So the next intake after January can be as early as February, can be as March, and so forth. So the online onboarding program, the next intake we could have would be October, for example. And then we would put the next bunch of students, which would lead on to February intake and so on. All right. Now, how many of you right now probably can think of students who can fill this right now? Hands up if you have got students that would be interested in this. Can I have a show of hands, please? Brilliant, brilliant. Well done. Okay, we're now moving on to something more interesting. Of course, some of the questions will be from you already, and I could read some of your minds is, well, is it just English you're doing, or what about others? What about other opportunities? Well, there are other opportunities that are coming. But the other opportunities, you first need to have Spanish language under your belt. Because if you are going to be working in any industry, of course, you need to have cultural understanding. You need to be able to speak, read, and so on. So if you are going to be working within healthcare, as an example, you'll be treating patients. The likelihood of that patient speaking English, or let alone speaking Hindi or Gujarati or Sinhalese, is not going to happen. You're going to have to speak to them in Spanish language. So the need for you to learn Spanish is definitely going to be on the cards. And we will have these courses starting in probably autumn. When I say autumn, probably September, possibly October, where we will be launching Spanish language course. We will have a combination of online and in person, in country, that will lead on to a job. Now, what jobs will these lead on to? We now have vocational training programs that start in January. Of course, they lead on to the Spanish language, lead from the Spanish language course onto the vocational program. The vocational programs are industries where there is high jobs availability. All of these are jobs that are ready, where employers are willing to take on students. You will get a student visa, you will get a 2-year course, you will get a qualification at the end of that course. Okay. Now, these are just some of the areas where careers are open for students, international students. These are information technology, cybersecurity, engineering, construction. And remember, all of these allow students to work up to 30 hours a week. So there is really good opportunities coming up. And think that this is open now as an alternative from the student who does not want to do a degree, does not want to study in a campus and pay fees of 3 years or 15, 20 lakhs every year. This is a new opportunity where it's work-based learning. Okay, I did tell you this is something new, and I'm sure many of you are right now on the edge of your seat waiting. I want this. I want this. So this is going to be starting in January, but remember, you need to have Spanish language under your belt. Every agent that signs up and works with us will get a certificate of collaboration, which you can display on your walls, on your websites, and so forth. We will be sharing lots of marketing material with you. So loads of digital marketing material with you, which you can then share using your media channels, whether that is Instagram, whether that's Facebook, etc. So you'll be able to share all of this, okay? And this will be free to you. So you can go to our website and download it as many times as you want and share it where you want. So this is a great opportunity for you to share to your markets that this is now available. How do we work with agents? Well, I'm now going to take you to my website and I'm going to show you our portal. This is what we call an outreach portal. Now, the outreach portal is the mechanism that we are going to be working with you, the agents. Okay, let me explain a little bit about how this works. On the top in the middle, you see Welcome to EducateMe Group. This is white labeled, meaning whatever your agency name is, that is what's going to be displayed there. You then see the students. These are the pipeline numbers. These are how many applications you have in the pipeline. And the colorful circle pie chart there is colored so that it gives you a quick dashboard view of where your pipeline numbers are. Okay. On the left-hand side, you see the menu. On top, you see a logo. That logo can be your logo, your agent logo. As we scroll down the screen, we can see the students, and you have multiple screens depending on how many pipeline numbers that you have. So you can scroll down and click on view all students and so forth. So you have the student details and you have status. Now, status is really important because status is live view, okay? This is when the status of the student milestone, the journey changes, whether it's from conditional offer to interview stage, documents pending and so forth. The moment this is changed, an email notification is sent to you, the agent, telling you there is an update. Now, from the comfort of your home, whether you're having dinner or whether you're in bed, you can click onto your mobile phone, log into the portal, and you can see that change. It means that it avoids you having to phone EducateMe Group up and say, you know what, I sent an application a week ago. Can you tell me where it is? You don't need to do that because now you'll have live access. You can even add students. So all of your students you'll be adding. And here is just a good idea. Where am I going to do? View students. If I can do view students, add student. No, well, anyway, there is a field. Sorry about this. I don't use this a lot, but my team all use it. There is a section where you add students, of course. Now, when you add your students, an email is sent to the student with a username and password. So they can log in and they can also upload their own documents, saving you time as well, because otherwise, gone are the days where students need to sit next to you in your office and you upload everything. From the comfort of the student's home, once they log in, they're able to upload all of their documents. Now, what that means is when there is a change on the status, the student also gets a live update on the email. And of course, from the comfort of their home, they can log in and they can see where their application is. This means in the long term, it avoids them calling you. Remember all those phone calls that you get? Oh, sir, I sent an application in 2 weeks ago. Where's the update? Where's the update? Imagine you having 20, 30 calls from students every day. It's annoying. You can't get any work done. Here, it's all digital and the student gets a notification and it's live, okay? So that is how we work with you. What is EducateMe's role? EducateMe's role is we are the conduit between you, the agent, and the university, well, not the university, the institution in Spain. Now, the institution in Spain is TT Madrid. That is whom we're working with for the English TEFL program. There are multiple other programs coming up. And in the landscape, I can tell you there are more providers that are joining us for us to become that conduit between agents and the institutions. We are not in competition with you. What we are, our role is to vet your students, process your students, and be the center that liaises with the institution for visa and so forth. And that is our role. So we will be assisting you, and it saves all of that time that the institutions need to have. The institutions will do their various audits. They will interview students. They will check on documents. So our job is to make sure that everything is integral, okay? Everything is clear. And we want to make sure that we work with you in an ethical and clear manner. That is our role. For every application that we get through, you get the commission for. So it's a win-win situation. It's in our interest to make sure we work with you and help you get students through. That's our job. What we want to do is to make sure that we are an honest recruiting partner of the institution, and that is our role. Okay, so I finished my presentation. Before I do go to questions and so forth, can I ask my colleagues, Nancy, Pragya, have I forgotten anything?
No, sir. I don't think you have cleared everything.
I have cleared everything.
Yes,
Brilliant,
yes.
brilliant. Thank you very much. Okay, so colleagues.
Sir, only one thing is left. You haven't showed the sub-agent certificate to the agents.
Oh, did I not? Did I
Yes.
not? I thought I did. Right, so this is the certificate of collaboration. Every agent will have this. Now, what we will do now is I'm going to share a link with you, or I'm going to ask my colleagues to put the link on the chat here. That link is for you to register as an agent, okay? Now, how many of you, can I have a show of hands, please, from everyone here on the Zoom call? How many of you are interested in this? Show of hands, please. Excellent. Lots of hands coming up. I did tell you this is a new opportunity. So I'm now going to open up to questions and answers, so questions rather, and I'll be happy to answer as many as I can. First, can I ask my colleagues, please, the IT background, can you put the link up so that everybody can see? And then this is a Google form where you need to enter your details so we can raise an MOU agreement with you. Okay, I hope you understand what that means. So there is the link. It's shared by Alifia. Can you please log into that link and begin that exercise now? We are launching this next week. Next week will be another webinar where we will be inviting all signed up agents to be introduced to the institution, TT Madrid, okay, where you will hear firsthand of our comprehensive exclusive agreement with them, what our role is, and what we are going to do in terms of supporting you. The roles that are available for teachers, how they're going to be work-based, all of that, all of your questions relating to you want to ask the institution, all of that is going to be available for you to have the answers directly from TT Madrid. Okay, so that webinar is likely to happen on Wednesday or Thursday of next week so that you can be invited. We need to make sure that all your compliance onboarding of agents is all complete. So we need to get your signed MOU agreement back. We need to get your various IDs sorted. So whether you're a company, do you have a company incorporation certificate? Can we have a copy of that? If you're not a company and you're just working from home, then can we have a copy of your Aadhaar card or ID, passport, etc., so that we can we can show our TT partners in Madrid that we have completed the onboarding of all agents. Okay, is that clear? Okay, some of you have already done the signing of the MOU. Brilliant, not a problem. Okay, so how many of you like this presentation? Show of hands. Can I ask the IT team, please, to unmute everybody and let's go through some questions and answers, shall we? Before I go into questions, there is going to be a digital brochure. I think it's about 16 or 18 pages, which is ready and it's going to be shared with you next week, early part of next week. I'm just getting our IT team to just share it on the screen and show you. It's a very comprehensive guided brochure where we know a lot of questions will come to you from students and parents. And so the aim of this brochure is to really go through all of those questions. We'll just quickly scroll through the 16 odd pages there are. So the brochure is titled Teaching English. There is the table of contents. There is a note from me where we have the disclaimer that our role is only to be conduit only, okay? We're not here to be partners, to be competition with you. Our role is not to recruit students through EducateMe Group. Our role is to work with agents to recruit students, okay? Next page, please. Okay, a new alternative, TEFL, work-based learning, about the certificate in Spanish culture and TEFL. And we get some little images, lots of content available. So those questions about why TEFL, am I the right person for it? All of those questions are answered here, okay? And it's really, really easy to follow through. It's not got paragraphs and paragraphs. There's lots of images, lots of graphics. Thank you. Next page, please. We're just going to quickly go through this so you can see that we have got a comprehensive guide to assist you in your role, okay? Fees are 6250. Thank you. Can we just scroll through towards the end where we have testimonials as well? We have frequently asked questions. You can play any of these videos and they tell you about their experience from their international country, okay? So again, there's lots of digital information that you can share to students, all right? Okay, now I'm open for questions, please. Thank you. Go ahead. Who's first? Can I ask Shazzy first? Or Shazzy? Go ahead, Shazzy. You have a question.
Yeah, hi Vinod. Thank you for your detailed information. It's very wonderful information that we got. So my question is about the fees structure, and actually I have a couple of questions. One is for fees structure. That is there any facility that we can get, we can give to student for like installment kind of, yeah.
It's a good question, and I have thought a lot about this installment. Now, the fees are split. Firstly, 3,950 euros goes straight to the institution.
Okay.
Then we have accommodation. Then we have visa pickup and all of that. And our charges are deducted from the 6250, and then we share 700 with you. Now, the institution wants full fees before a visa can be issued. Okay. And then there's our part of helping the student make sure we charge equally for that. So, and the fee, 6250, it's really competitive. For 1 year, you're getting all of this, including 1 month of accommodation. Accommodation alone is probably 800 euros alone, 1 month within the campus, including all of those cultural activities. So, what you're getting, I think you should be in a position to really tell students, look, places are going to fill up. You should pay 6250. And there is no installments because it's a fast-paced course. Remember, the course starts in September online. Yeah. So compared to your experience of sending students overseas, where your fees are going to be 15 lakhs and more, 15 lakhs is just accommodation. Here, we're putting 6250, and 1 month of accommodation is already cost.
Okay.
Now, we know international students, when they get together, their idea is that they want to find cheap accommodation. So they will group together, find self-catering somewhere, rent a room or rooms, and their accommodation would be perhaps half the price of what it would be on the campus.
Okay. So my next question is regarding the same for the accommodation, that for 1 month you are providing along with the fees. But what about the rest month? How much is the expenses over there?
The expenses, they're definitely going to be cheaper than the UK. Definitely.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're looking at probably, I would think, if you set yourself probably, I don't even think it's going to be 100 euros because your training, etc., you'll be able to get bus, you'll be able to get transport, all of that from accommodation to mostly all of your training is done on campus and then to the workplace. So your traveling will be minimal. You will be working up to 30 hours, so you're probably going to be traveling to local work. Your food and groceries travel, I think you're looking at about 80 euros a week.
Okay, nice. Last question. Sorry for bothering. Too many questions I'm asking. So last question for me is, what about the post-study work visa status for this course, and how much?
Question.
Yeah, how many years?
So the post-study work, the route is that students would first come in under a student visa. Under the student visa, they're able to work up to 30 hours. Once they enter into an agreement with the employer, work-based learning, once they enter into a formal agreement, i.e., I now want to work, I want to take you on as a full-time staff, then you're changing visa from student visa to work visa. Once you've changed to work visa, you are now entitled to bring your dependents and apply for settlement. Okay? But you cannot bring in your dependents whilst you're on student visa. Okay? So in as less as a year, you can get work visa. You could bring your dependency. Now remember, under the other routes of study, you can't do that. Yeah. A student on a degree course has to study 3 or 4 years before they get a work visa. And that is if they get a work visa. Remember, current conditions now in the UK, really, really difficult. Now, it's going to be impossible for a student now to find full-time work in the UK. It's going to be impossible. Okay. Next question, please. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Vinod.
Thank you. Can I ask somebody else, please, to come on and give me a question?
Yeah, hi. This is Javed. Yeah.
Hello, Javed.
Yeah, thank you for the information you provided. I have 3 questions. What alternatives are available for students who do not have IELTS and degree?
Well, you don't need to have an IELTS, firstly. I said you do need to have a proficiency, an English proficiency of about 6.5. I'm not asking you to demonstrate it through an IELTS certificate. We will do a visa. We will do an interview where we will do the credibility check and do a diagnostic check. So students don't need an IELTS for this. Firstly, number one, don't need an IELTS. Students do need to have a good, strong English proficiency. Do they need to have a degree? Well, we're willing to have a look at those candidates who perhaps come from work experience, who have left school went straight into work and never necessarily did a degree. I'm willing to look at those as well. Okay.
Okay. What about the age gap?
There's no age cap. You can be from 21 right the way up to 40, 50.
Okay. If he's like 40 and if he doesn't have a degree and he has a better working experience, so he can apply, right?
We'll be willing to list. We'll be willing to look at those as well.
Perfect. In this 3-month course, a complete online program before travel?
No, it's not complete.
Okay.
The first 3 months is delivered online. Why it's delivered online is because the student process of applying for visa, that alone is 2 months. Getting all the documents ready. So rather than the student sitting idle at home, why not get the student started on the course? So we get the student started on the course where they begin from the 12-month course. The first 3 months of it is delivered online.
Okay. Should the student pay the fee directly to the institute or to your company?
There'll be two payments. We're trying to agree 2, not 3. The 2 are the institution direct, because the student needs to pay the institution direct. That will be a relationship between the student and the institution. We will obviously be involved in all of that. And then there is the payment to EducateMe Group.
Okay, fine. Okay. So total the cost will be like 6,000, right? Euro.
6,250 is the total cost.
Okay.
3,950 is the institution cost, and I believe our cost is 2,300.
Okay.
There may be a third payment, but that will come out of the 2,300, which will be the accommodation. But what we're trying to do is save the student from paying 3 transactions, just do 2 transactions.
Okay, fine. Okay. For this one, how will you help us to get the visa applications and other things? Everything, right?
Of course. That's what our role is. Our role is precisely that, is to onboard the student with as minimal inconvenience as possible. Okay. We all are in the sector of student abroad. They are our customers. They are our bread and butter. We want to make sure that we look after them, because a good student will recommend us and bring more students. That's our business. That's how we work. So we want to make sure we support you in giving you that excellent relationship, that excellent experience. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem. It's all of your students coming in, they're going to be your ambassadors first. These ambassadors will be giving you video recordings, testimonials of what life is like in Spain, and so on. That itself will generate more student opportunities for you.
Okay, and I have another question. What should the minimum bank balance be, and are loan accounts or fixed deposit accepted as financial proof?
Yes. Loan accounts are accepted. The show fee, as we call it in our terminology.
Show money.
Show money. The show money, I believe, is in the region of 12 to 15 lakhs. It's very similar.
Okay. In INR, right?
In INR, yeah.
Okay, fine. Okay.
Sir, I have one question.
Sure. Are you Vishnu? Sorry. Oh, Jasdeep. Sorry. Hello, Jasdeep.
Hello, sir. Sir, a dependent can go along with the student or not?
Yes, not initially under the student visa. I think you find that in the market that we're in all countries, gone are the days where the student used to be able to travel with the main visa holder. That changed, I believe, in 2023. Help me out, guys. When did that visa change for masters? Was it last year, January?
Last year, sir.
Last year, January, it changed, didn't it? So that changed. So otherwise, before that, as you know, dependents could travel with the main visa holder. Now that's changed. Dependents are not allowed now to be on a student visa. Okay. But they are, once the visa changes to work visa, which can be in less than a year, then the dependents can come.
Okay, sir. Okay.
All right.
Okay, sir.
Mobashir.
Yeah, hi. Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah. So my question is how many days will be the training and how many days will be the internship?
Yeah, the online training and the internship is probably going to be about maximum 2 to 3 days a week, like 2.5 days, something like that. And then you'll have the rest of the week then to do your 30-hour working if you want.
The internship will be provided by the institute or he has to search for it?
So it's done by the institute and the work provider.
Okay, so student doesn't have to search for the internship and all.
No, the student does not need to search. That's all integrated as part of the course. So work placement is guaranteed.
3 days will be the teaching and 3 days will be the internship.
No. The teaching and work-based learning is all together.
Okay. So integrated with the learning and the training.
Correct. So all of that happens for about 2.5 days a week, and then the rest the student has their own time to do what they want.
Okay, so 2.5 days internship, work-based internship, and 3 days they can work part-time.
Well, 3 days, 5 days, yeah.
No, yeah.
Remember, Saturday, Sunday is also available.
That part-time is student's call, where he wants to work and how he wants to work.
Yeah, that's up to the student.
Okay, and internship means how much we get this stipend and.
Just so internships, guys, it's not the word internship. This is called work-based learning. Okay. Internships is not guaranteed. Work-based learning is guaranteed. This is guaranteed.
Okay. So how much will he be getting for the work-based program? Will he be paid when he will be doing a work-based?
Yes. Most of them will be paid. I think there are going to be some public sectors which may not pay or pay some stipend, but not a lot. But otherwise, they will get some payment towards their work.
Vinod, there are questions in the chat.
Yeah, one more question.
Sorry, my focus has been on the people on the screen.
Yeah. One more question. Sorry to interrupt.
Okay. No. Go ahead.
Yeah. So if there are colleges, we can be integrated with colleges, means tie up and collab with colleges for this kind of a program, like B.Ed colleges and all. So
yes, there are colleges in Spain which we do have connections with, and they are part of EducateMe Group. So yes, we can. If your questions are about placing students in universities in Europe, we can also assist you with that.
No, in India, for example, there are colleges, they may give students to us, collaboration type with Indian colleges.
Yeah.
Like there are Indian colleges who provide B.Ed courses, teaching courses, or institute. We can tie up with them through like collaboration or immersion kind of a program.
Yes, there are. EducateMe Group has got a number of opportunities, commercial opportunities for agents like yourselves. One of them is teaching English. Linguistic skills. Now, if I may just have 30 seconds on this, please. English linguistic skills. Now, countries such as India, Sri Lanka, where English, although it's taught as a subject, just as physics and biology is taught as a subject, it's not necessarily taught as a language, meaning that the student in India has got English as a qualification within their grade sheet, but not necessarily the fluency of English as a linguistic skill. So what we do is we have an add-on subject that we teach with institutions, schools, and universities, where we teach this, and it gives the individual, the learner, the opportunity to have fluency in English, linguistic skill. It gives them better opportunities at work, and you, the agent, has got a relationship with an institution. Okay. Now, with that institution, it means anybody coming out of that institution who is looking at study abroad, you now have a partner ready. So you already have that flow of students coming out. So long as the school is able to buy our English product, it's taught LMS. It's digital, it's really friendly. There's a lot of AI integrated into it as well. And the cost is just amazing. But anybody who's interested in that, please speak to our people who will connect with you later. Tell them you're interested, and then I'll set you up with a meeting with all of that.
Sir, Vishnu here.
Okay. Hello, Vishnu.
Sir, I want to know what is the hourly pay for part-time jobs there?
Well, the Spain government, it's roughly about 11 euros per hour, roughly. Okay. So qualified teacher, their earnings per month can be in the region of 800 upwards, 800 euros. That's approximately 80,000 Indian rupees a month.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, right. So let's go to some of these questions. Right, show money is 15 lakhs. Has to be in the account for the student for 6 months. We will check on that. That's all part of the webinar next week, where the institution will tell you a lot more about the immigration and so forth. I don't think the money needs to be show money for 6 months. I don't think it's that. Maximum I would have thought is 4 weeks. Okay, but 6 months, no, you don't need to have show money for 6 months. Course fees are 6,250, 6,250 euros. Is it required to show all funds or 28 day? I think 28 day would be the maximum, but definitely you don't need to have all funds. Okay. Right. So the process for onboarding now, people, is remember there is a link to Google Forms. Please complete that link now, because we want to try and get all of the onboarding of agents out of the way this week, so then we can share marketing materials with you and invite you to the webinar with the institution and begin your recruitment cycle from next week. It's really important that you get your MOU agreements and all of that sorted out this week, please. Right, more questions, please. Who's on the screen right now?
Hello.
Hello, Deepak.
Yeah, I have a question that if fees payment is the upfront, right? The entire fee should be paid upfront.
Yes,
So
yes, yes.
let's say
I
one.
I personally would encourage you to get the full fees. The full fees are it's a strong commitment from the student and the family that they definitely want this. We need to show the visa letter needs to show full fees are paid.
Okay.
Yeah.
If student pays the fees first of full year, he starts the learning 3 months.
Yeah.
During the meanwhile, visa is processing and entire has been done by you. Visa is not issued by the embassy. Then what happened? The refund policy.
Well, the deduction will play a part in terms of our deduction in terms of administrative part, and also the institution will probably have a non-refundable deposit. I believe it's about 280 euros is not refundable. Apart from that, all of the money is refundable.
Okay.
But our admin charge will be tiny compared to anything like that. We're not here to take money from a student who's been deprived of a visa of no fault of their own.
So only 280 would be non-refundable.
Yeah, I would have thought thereabouts. The deduction is not going to be large. It's about probably in all parts of it, I would say probably 300 euros is going to be the max deduction. Yeah, we're not here to take money from students. We don't want to earn from students who haven't got the right to go. We're here to encourage everybody gets a successful visa. That's how we all win from this.
Okay.
All right.
Next, hi. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Hello, Nuan.
This is Nuan Rajan from Sri Lanka, representing the Nobel Visa Center. Actually, my only concern is when we proceed in the documentations that for the time being, Sri Lanka doesn't have the embassy itself for the submissions, visa submission. So what we have to do is we have to come to New Delhi. So do we have any helping hand or support over there in New Delhi? Thank you.
Well, thank you, Nuan. Funny enough, I am going to New Delhi in the month of September to go and visit the commissions, the high commissions there, the Spanish High Commission in New Delhi and in Mumbai. I'm going to go and do that in September. So I'll be having appointments to them. My whole reason of going there with the institution as well is to look at having a strong collaboration with these high commissions to ensure students who come through these pathways are looked after in the simplest and efficient manner. Okay, that is what our intention is, to go and get that sorted. Now, there isn't anything in terms of online visa right now from Sri Lanka to the Spanish embassy. Students will have to go as a physical interview right now. Now, whether that changes or not, that's not something we're in control of. That's something that the Spanish embassy needs to be in control of. But all we can do is keep you updated with those conditions as they come along. But yes, we will be holding your hand and giving you all of that support.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
No problem. Next, Messias Tamal, if I've pronounced that right, I hope you have a question. You've got your hand up. If you wanna unmute yourself and just ask your question. Somebody says fixed deposits will be okay. Yeah, for show money, fixed deposits are fine. Sangeeta asks, so not compulsory interview for all. At the moment, it is compulsory interview for all. That's how it is at the moment. Whether that changes, that's not our control. That is something that the embassy will look at. Okay. Is there a second year? No, because the whole idea of the first year is through work-based, you will get your work visa. So it's only 1 year. The other vocational programs leading into other careers, first you need to have the Spanish language under your belt. Then you can apply for the 2-year vocational course. Okay?
Yeah, hello.
I hope that helps, Anuj. Thank you. Messias. Am I pronounced that right? Messias?
Yeah.
Okay. How can I help you?
Yeah, you are from Sri Lanka. And the question is beginning of the first year, in the online 3 months course, the student have to pay the full payment, right, for the campus?
Yes. We would encourage that. Like I said, a number of agents have asked that same question. Can the students pay in installments? Given that the fee is really, really good, okay? Given that you're not seeing an opportunity like this anywhere else, given that you want successful visa outcomes, then we must make sure that the students are committed financially. So I would encourage you all to please have candidates ready with their financials ready, okay? A student who is wanting to pay in installments is already 50% commitment, okay? Yeah. So I would encourage you, I will have a look and see, because it's brought up quite a lot here. I will have a look and see if we can do an installment option. But for 3,950, is the minimum fee they have to pay upfront. And that is the fee for the tuition, which you must pay in full before the visa process starts, because you need to show on the visa letter full fees are paid.
Yeah, okay, Mr. Vinod. Then after that, this is not a degree or a diploma kind of thing. So what kind of a qualification after the completion of this course they get? Like
They
what's
get a
the
professional recognized qualification, TEFL. It's recognized all over Europe. So you can have the mobility if you wish, but after working in 2-3 years in Spain, if you wanted to, you could move to Germany or any other 29 states of Europe.
So it's like available, valid for whole Europe, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And this is apart from the Spain course, this so like, are you encouraging us like as agents only to committed to this Spain thing, or can we do the other countries also, like the student visa for the other countries?
In time, yes, other markets of Europe will be open. But the reason why we've decided to go with Spain is because of the 30 hours.
Okay, then that's all from my side. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, hello.
Hello.
Yeah, so students are going to pay the whole fees, okay, initially.
Yeah.
3 months will be studying online. So for funds, showing funds, that fees you don't have to show because already paid. So how much exact funds you have to show at the time of visa?
Well, the fees for the visa and the tuition fee is 3,950. That will show us full fees paid.
So for funds, how much funds you have to show? At the
Oh,
time
show
of-
money.
Yeah.
Show money. Show money will be in the region of 11 to 15 lakhs, but we will confirm that for you. Okay. But like I said, we have a webinar next week. That webinar is with the institution where we are introducing all of the agents. Again, all of these questions can go to the institution direct. They will tell you exactly how much show money needs to be there. Jyoti is asking, what is the procedure for commission? Well, like I said, I'm considering 2-part payments on the commission. One payment on successful enrollment on the online stage, that the student has paid their fees. You get a commission release then, and you get a commission release when the student starts in Spain. Okay, so 50-50. All right, that is what I'm looking at. The commissions are going to be released to student as soon as the student has completed the onboarding in Spain and has completed everything here online, and they've attended classes. Okay.
Excuse me, Mr. Vinod.
Yes.
Yeah, I got another question. Like after the completion of the 2 years of study, it's like it's a work-based studying partner. So
Yeah.
like after the 2 years, what's the guarantee of the like? Is there any industry placement, or is there like we can?
Yes. Yes, all of those 2-year studies are industry workplace, all of them.
Yeah, but what's the guarantee of that after the completion of the course? Do they get to work
They get
for
the
the full
work. They
time?
get the guaranteed work.
Yeah. So like how long the visa for the working visa, like what's the
It's 2 years.
duration?
Well, the visa duration for study visa is 2 years. Then the objective here, after the 2 years or within those 2 years, the employer either likes you and says, you know what, I like Messias, I want you to come and work for us now full time. So the employer will then apply for a new visa, which will be the work visa. Or at the end of that work placement, the employer will say, you know what, Messias, we've had some trouble with you over the last 2 years. It hasn't really been good. I'm sorry, but at this time, we're not going to be able to take you on as a student, as an employee. It is in the student's interest to make sure they work according to the procedure. In other words, don't be late. Yeah. If you have employees who are consistently late, time is 10 o'clock, but the learner employee comes in at 9:15 and they do that consistently late, that's not good.
Yeah, very good. And so the employee or the student has to work for the same company like that he used to.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So isn't there any chance to change the company or like recruit in another company?
It may be possible, but again, you have to go through the whole process of changing employer. And that is possible because there are times when, out of no fault of the students, the employer has a change. For example, the manager has changed or the company has shut down or whatever it is. So that is possible, yes.
Okay. And you say that there's a chance that the student couldn't get the job after the completion of the course. And
to be honest with you, it's more of a behavioral process. So long as the student has gelled in well with the employer, okay, you are an employer, you probably have staff. If your staff are consistently late, if their behavior in the workplace is not ethical, then of course your intention is, are you going to have long-term employment with this person? No.
As a student, what are the minimal education requirements that is to?
A bachelor's degree for the 2-year vocational programs. Remember, these are starting next year, but you do need Spanish language under your belt first, okay?
Yeah, so the bachelor's degree is the minimum requirement, right?
Not for the 2-year work course, no. You can come from secondary education, but a lot of information concerning vocational programs, the 2 years, will come out later this year.
Okay, so is there any awareness program for that vocational training thing for us?
Yes. But first, Messias, I want you to focus on TEFL because that is the course and cycle that is opening for recruitment from next week.
Yeah, okay, sure. Okay. Thank you, Vinod.
All right, no problem. Thank you. What is the title of the degree they will get at the end of the 2-year course? Okay, it'll be a diploma in that course that is working with the employer. Okay, and a lot of information to that will be available hopefully by October of this year. Okay, will it be equivalent to a university degree? Well, this will be like an international diploma, not necessarily a degree, okay? How many days will it take for offer letter? Well, so long as the process of vetting the student meets all the requirements, the fees are all paid, then the visa letter can take almost kind of 3 or 4 days after that whole process is completed. Yeah. What is the minimum age requirement? Is there a maximum? Maximum, I guess, is 50 maximum. There isn't really a maximum because this is work-based. Minimum on the TEFL, it's 21. On the vocational 2-year programs, it will be 18. Okay? But please, on the vocational program, remember what I said, Spanish language is essential. And that is kicking off in September. So once we get TEFL on the road and started, we will immediately start taking enrollments for the Spanish language. So you will be required as agents to start pushing Spanish language with the view to look at vocational courses, opening up your opportunities. Spanish language can be taught between 6 to 8 months. The objective of the Spanish language course is to have a proficiency test of B1 Spanish language. Okay, so it is possible to have B1 in Spanish language in as early as 6 to 8 months. Right. Is there anybody else who wants to ask me a question? If you want to unmute yourself, feel free to go on the chat. My colleagues are also assisting with answering some of the questions. Otherwise, the time now on here in the UK, it's showing 10 minutes past 8. So we've spent an hour or so on the presentation. I think we've started to go through all of the questions now. Some of them we're getting 2 or 3 times. That's fine, not a problem. But I think we've kind of exhausted ourselves in terms of any more Q&As. I think all of you have kind of got a sense now of the course, of the minimum requirements. Okay, how do we begin with the MOU? What do we need to do? And how do we move forward? Well, so once you please click on the forms link, which is there, shared by Alifia. Can you get your MOU up there? We will get an MOU agreement to you. You will need to sign. We will get you digital material to you. We will invite you to the webinar taking place next week with the institution. So you will firsthand get an opportunity to meet with the institution and understand and learn from any questions that you might have. So just like you've been asking me questions, you will have the opportunity to ask them the questions as well. Thank you, Sangeeta. It was a great presentation. Thank you very much. Okay, well, what we'll do, we'll call this to an end now. Unless there's any more questions, I'll stay on for another 30 seconds. If I don't hear of any questions, then I'll just ask our IT team to say goodbye to everyone. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Have a great week. And I hope to be working with you all in the coming days. Thank you, everyone. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure listening to many of you. And I'm so pleased that you're interested in this new opportunity. Great. All right, then. Right. We are going to log off and wishing everyone a good day. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.